Hi, I'm Aaron, and today I'll be presenting alongside Jordan. We will be presenting our situational analysis on Our Lady of the Angels, Wavell Heights. Jordan has previously done his practicum experience there and has also done a few volunteering days within the school context. Before we start our presentation, we would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of this land. In keeping with the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands where the community works. We wish to pay our respects to the elders, past, present and emerging, and acknowledge the important role Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people continue to play in the community. So today we will be conducting a brief outline on the social context of the setting and the community where the school is located. We will then look into the school philosophy and vision to gain a more in-depth idea of the pedagogical context that the school is defined by. We will then look at our focus areas and issues, which are cultural, social and educational. We will then look into some issues such as cultural aspects of the school context, the social engagement with parents and carers and the community, and we will discuss and investigate the educational and, more importantly, pedagogical implications of the school. These will all link into what we have learnt in this unit. These issues may have positive or negative outlooks on the school, but we will also discuss what we may need to improve. Jordan will then summarise and conclude these focus areas at the end, but reflecting on the role we would consider being an educator in the school context and what we could do to improve or raise some points. And then lastly, we have references we have used within this assignment. Our Lady of the Angels is a co-educational primary school located in northern Brisbane suburb of Wavell Heights. The area is considered to be a medium to high socio-economic area with a population of 9,684 according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics of 2016. The most common occupants within the Wavell Heights area include professionals, clerical and administrative workers, managers, technicians and trade workers, community and personal service workers. Our Lady of the Angels is one of 3 schools in the area, with both being state schools, although one being primary and the other being secondary. It is located within the Wavell Heights catchment. The geological area is important to note solely because it ensures every Queensland student from prep to year 12 are enrolled at their local school. According to the My School website, the total enrolment for 2018 was 602. 259 of these students were boys and 343 were girls, meaning over half the school's population were female. Our Lady of the Angels has both a vision and a mission statement that both look to enrich the lives of those involved. The school's vision states, "Our Lady of the Angels Catholic School is a welcoming, supportive community where a love of life and learning is nurtured and celebrated within the Catholic tradition. Shine with life, learn with love, grow with God." The school's mission statement is, "As a Catholic community, inspired by the lives of Nano Nagel and St. Francis, we empower and celebrate all life as lifelong learners and leaders. We embrace joy, service, respect, shining with life, learning with love and growing with God." It is clear to see from the outsider's perspective that, as a school, Our Lady of the Angels' intentions and motto is to involve themselves within the community, with the Catholic traditions inspiring the decisions along the way. According to the Australian Bureau of Statistics 2016, 32% of people living within the area define themselves as Catholic. This works in unison with the school's outlook, as a strong Catholic community is more likely to participate within what the school is doing. Although being a Catholic primary school, within the school profile it states that they encourage students to develop a knowledge of other cultures, language, as well as an environment and social issues. This type of inclusive nature provides an environment where children feel safe, secure and supported, which aligns with the early years learning framework, Learning Outcome 1.1. Although Our Lady of the Angels is a primary school, the early years learning framework still intertwines itself into the primary school setting due to the transitioning of kindergarten students into this platform. An issue that may arise for parents wanting to enrol students at the school is a lack of information regarding inclusive education of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students and cultures. 1.4% of the Wavell Heights population is of Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander heritage. So the likelihood of incorporating knowledges from their perspectives are just as important for them learning other educational aspects. It has been categorically proven that children take family into classrooms through language, beliefs, and obligations. To not incorporate this can lead to a catastrophic derailment of parent-teacher relationships. From the outside, we believe that they would incorporate Indigenous perspectives into their curriculum, but it is an aspect that needs to remain at the forefront. Indigenous cultures are not the only perspective that need to be met. Australia has become a multicultural society that caters for many different religions, beliefs, and background knowledges. These all integrate into the classroom, and it is important to do so. As Volk points out, the greater the knowledge one has about culture and expectations, the greater the understanding or perception of meaning is. As seen in the statistic provided, 1% of students in the school are of Indigenous background and 9% are from language backgrounds other than English. This emphasises the importance of educators creating inclusive environments for those students with different learning backgrounds.
So now families. Education is a process of living. Students are the image of their core family, and their parents, carers will impact and be capable of changing their identities. During my time at OLA, this reference really made more of a clear understanding in my eyes, as families played a massive role in the education and development of the students. When I was doing some teacher aid work and assistant work in a Year 1 classroom, the educator had made it very clear to families that they were allowed into the classroom where they could join into lessons and help out different sections within the classroom or classroom activities. Whenever I worked within this classroom, when parents were involved in lessons, they really gave the classroom environment a great feel about it, and students wanted to exceed their parents' expectations while they were looking on. As you can see on the screen, the annual school report, which reports that OLA involved parents and carers in multiple ways around the school context, especially within the classrooms, helping out with reading groups, rotations, which I saw firsthand. John Dewey also acknowledges that education is a process of living and students are the image of their families. OLA make it clear that families are welcome at any point within the school year to play a part in their child's development, as they know the impact of families on children's identities and learning development. At OLA, the community are committed to welcome people into the community of the church, where they can fully experience the life-giving word of Christ, celebration, and the sacraments and service to others. Throughout my time at OLA, again, the community played an enormous role within the school gates. Guest speakers, community members, they were volunteering, and also designed class lessons that involved the local community were around the school always. One example was when I was at the end of my prac at OLA, myself and another ACU student, which was doing the prac at the time, we were invited back along with families and the community members to participate in their market day, where students had come up with a product to sell for a charity. This was held in the school oval, and families and communities came along to purchase these products for charity, and students were selling and promoting their product. The church within the school gates also play a big role within the school community, as students take turns in helping out community-held masses. Faith brings the school's community closer and gives students a real sense of responsibility to the students to behave as they are representing the school and their faith. Bronfenbrennan's theory looks at how children develop in different contexts of systems and environments that revolve around relationships. The development of a child is shaped by varied systems of the child's ecosystem and the relationships among others and additional systems. Bronfenbrenner emphasises the importance of the mesosystem for a child, which is the social context such as schools, neighbourhoods and religious systems. This is seen within the school context of OLA when it becomes a large mesosystem for that child. Looking at the educators within the education system of OLA, firstly we want to look at the way OLA implements their pedagogical theory within their school context. Educators present themselves as facilitators within their classrooms. During my time where I had the opportunity to explore different classroom contexts, I could see that most educators would have their own set of rules, which could lead to confusion for students as each classroom is set out different and has different rules. They, although had all fantastic relationships and communication with parents and carers, as high response rate to emails and phone calls was always a high priority in the afternoon after school. The pedagogy approach is a confusing one, and the layout of the school and classrooms don't help from my point of view. From my experience in hearing a few parents' concerns and also students' ability to learn, these are a few of the implications that go on at OLA. Students in grade 4, 5, 6 are in classrooms which hold up to 50 students and often in multi-age classes and have 2 educators within those contexts. In these classrooms in year levels, firstly, students often find it hard to concentrate in their environment. Secondly, classrooms were always loud as students from other classrooms would come up and down the stairs behind them. And thirdly, there was little variety or any area for students to go and chill out and have some time where there wasn't any noise. In saying this though, prep year 1, year 2 and 3 had their own classrooms with 20 to 25 students in each with one educator, plus sometimes the school officer helping out. The issue here is the confusion students may have when moving up a year or into a whole new classroom environment that is loud and very dependent on students to be independent learners. Saying this, there are many experiences in my time at OLA that were positive within these classroom contexts, as students would have opportunities to collect work and research with fellow peers to finish an assignment independently. And it's a fantastic thing to teach students, but working in an environment where some students might feel not comfortable answering in front of their 49 other peers. ICT also plays a big role in the pedagogical outcomes of OLA. Students in 4, 5 and 6 all have their own iPads that are used for most subjects. This is done in a very positive way, as students have the ability to research at their own pace in certain areas, but also only be able to do as much as on a controlled educational system. As you can see on the slide, the school attendance rate of all students is 93%, which offers that they do offer a really great environment for students to feel like they want to come to school and they don't want to not come to school. So they must be doing something right in that path. But looking at the NAPLAN reading scores of year 5 students and year 3 students, they are below similar Australian schools, as maybe students aren't getting the ability to read in areas that they can chill out and feel comfortable in. So maybe they need to look at having more chill out areas in their school. We both feel, looking at the cultural and summarising, that there are plenty of opportunities to work with other cultures in the school context, but we both agree that more emphasis on Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures is needed. As learning about other cultures around the world is fantastic, but understanding our own history and what is needed to be done is important to respect that before learning about other cultures. Having more celebration days of our history would be a great idea to put forward if we were educators at OLA, just to celebrate our history and how we can help keep it. On how OLA go about families in the community, we both believe it's extremely a good example of how a school should go about this. Schools should be encouraged to have the community and families take part in students' learning and development. We both agree with the importance of incorporating family and communities within classroom contexts, and we believe this is a positive standard to have within a school. And we'd both be happy to work as educators under these circumstances. Looking at the education system at OLA, on the other hand, we both have come to the conclusion that the teaching with these pedagogical views would become extremely hard at times. Managing students who find it difficult or don't thrive in large groups can give us more obstacles as educators. But as the schools have stated, they are very open in discussing new strategies and ways to improve student learning. I did personally enjoy my experience within a 5-6 mixed classroom with 50 students, but I can also see the negatives and positives of that classroom context. In conclusion, We would both jump at the chance to work in a great location school such as Our Lady of the Angels, Wavell Heights. To be a flexible educator that can work around issues and be able to adapt to new environments is key and has been highlighted many times within this unit. But ultimately, we believe students within the school will be able to grow, develop, and be independent learners that will thrive in the next journey, and we think that as educators is the best outcome.